is going to be a week of meals, or like meal inspiration. I'm gonna be like taking you behind the scenes and sharing my favorite recipes, and also behind the scenes of like meal planning and prepping all of that food. I feel like once you enter adulthood, one of the main struggles is trying to figure out what you're supposed to eat for dinner every day. So I love cooking. I really enjoy it. I think because I love food so much that I love being able to make exactly what I want and exactly how I want it. I don't really follow recipes ever unless I'm like taking it to somebody else's house. I really enjoy experimenting, and basically what I'll do is I'll scroll through Pinterest and like see the pictures of different meals, and sometimes there's like little like snippet videos of like instructions, and I'll just scroll through Instagram meals as like an inspiration, and then I'll make it my own way. I'll just use Pinterest as like ideas for meals, and then I'll create my own version of it. Yeah, so hopefully if you're stuck in a rut and just have no idea what to cook and you've been eating out all the time, then maybe this video will give you some inspiration and some meal ideas. Sit. Right paw, left paw, good boy. Okay, starting off on a Monday. So for Monday, I'm making some homemade chicken tenders with just like some potato wedges and vegetables. This is one of my main go-to meals. It's so easy. So basically, I just used whatever I have in the cupboard. I had a little bit of breadcrumbs and some Ritz crackers, so I crushed that all up for what's going to be the breading. And then to get all that to stick together, I do egg and mayonnaise together. You can do just egg or just mayonnaise. I like both of them together. And then I just am adding some more seasoning to the breading. I usually do onion powder, garlic powder, Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, you know, your basics, your basic yummy seasonings. You can really add whatever type of seasonings you like, you know, like red pepper flakes, paprika. But anyhow, I get the organic chicken tenderloins from Aldi. It's just way easier to deal with than chicken breast, and there's a lot less of like the fat on them. And I do this so sloppily. I just dip them in, toss them in the breading, and roll them around. And then here are my potatoes and broccoli. I burnt them. I burnt everything because I'm not very good at setting a timer, and I put it on broil and forgot about it. It was still good though, but that is totally one of my go-to meals. A lot of times I'll even get like a big gallon Ziploc bag, throw the chicken in, add the egg, add the mayonnaise, shake it up, then add the breading and shake all that up, and it works. Dump it in a pan and stick it in. It's so easy. I feel like when you think about making homemade chicken tenders, it can seem a lot more difficult than what it actually is. It's super easy, especially I just bake them right in the oven. I know a lot of people, you can deep fry them too, but I think it's easier, healthier, baked in the oven. And then for Tuesday, I like to try my best to completely use all the meals, like eat up all the leftovers, which is something that Nathan and I definitely struggle with. We're not big leftover people. So I try to take the leftovers and incorporate them into different meals throughout the week. So I'm taking the chicken tenders and I'm making some big old chicken tender salads. So for Nathan's, I also threw in some chopped up ham and turkey to make it kind of a chef salad. And then I usually do like a boiled egg, then shredded cheese, and I like spinach and like a greens mix. So recently I've been experimenting with bread recipes and trying to really perfect homemade bread baking. So Wednesday morning, that's what I started out with, just forming my bread and letting it rise. I will try to link below. Bread is something that I do try and follow the recipes because I have not gotten the art of that down yet. So I'll try to link some of my favorite bread recipes that have worked out for me down below that are super simple for beginners. Okay, so for this meal, it's going to be homemade roast beef sandwiches with like homemade gravy. On Sunday, which I did not film, I made a roast, just a roast in the crock pot with potatoes and carrots, water, beef stock, you know, the basic Sunday roast. So I'm going to be using the leftover meat from that and the au jus from that, and I'm going to be making a thicker gravy and shredding the beef and having homemade roast beef sandwiches, completely homemade, everything from scratch, including the bread. Yeah, so I'm just separating the meat and the carrots and everything and shredding the roast, and then using the au jus to make a homemade gravy just by adding flour and thickening it up. And here's how the bread turned out. This meal actually turned out super yummy. It does not look that appetizing, but I promise it tastes so good. Okay, the next day, what are we on? Thursday, I think. I'm taking the leftover gravy from last night's roast beef sandwiches with gravy, and I am just shearing some steak bites. It's actually stew beef, but I kind of use them as like steak bites. I'm cooking that. I always just do garlic, salt, pepper, probably onion powder, garlic powder. Those are like my main seasonings that I season everything with. And I'm cooking that up in a pan, just shearing it, the sides of it, and then I'm going to throw that into the gravy from last night to cook the rest. And then I had like a quarter of a bag of egg noodles and some frozen homemade noodles that I had in the freezer. And I'm going to be making like beef tips, beef and noodles, whatever you want to call it, or beef stroganoff. I think that's another name for it. Yeah, so this was actually super easy because I pretty much had everything already made. And it's one of Nathan's favorite meals. It's so yummy. Hey, can you guys quiet down? Thanks. Okay, so for Friday, I got inspired by Ballerina Farm on Instagram, who if you don't follow, 100% you should follow. She's like an amazing homesteader and grows and makes everything like from scratch. Anyhow, so I actually did follow a recipe for this because it is pork dumplings. I've never made anything like this before. Obviously it's like an Asian meal. So I did strictly follow, strictly for me, I'm not good at following recipes, but I did follow a recipe that I found on Pinterest, so I will link that down below. But this was just like a really fun meal to make that really changes things up a bit. Like if you're sick of having the same stuff, you can throw in this meal. It is a little bit of work, but you also, hey. Shh. But you also don't have to make all of it from scratch. Like you can buy like dumpling wrappers and just fill them, but I did the dumpling wrappers homemade myself. So I'm just throwing that all together. You just make it like you would like noodle dough kind of. And I'm just letting it rise here under a moist cloth. So the filling is cabbage, onion, carrots, and then pork. Alright, and then you just fry them in some water. So long ago since I made them, but I believe you fry them, and so you can do that, and you steam them in some water, and then yeah, I'm pretty sure you just cook them in water, or you can also do sesame oil, I believe. But these were so yummy, and I had like a lot of leftovers, so I actually froze the dumpling wrappers and some of what you stuff it with, the pork vegetable mixture, and I have that in the freezer which will save me so much time for next time I want to make them. But they were so yummy. Definitely recommend those. The dogs are going crazy. Okay, lastly, Saturday. I am doing cabbage rolls, which I feel like is not a meal that people are like, sounds good, cabbage rolls, but I actually really like them. Nathan, he'll eat them. They're not, like, he likes them. They're good. They're genuinely good, but I really like them. And I feel like so healthy eating them, you know, it's cabbage and meat. I'm using my dad's homemade sauce that he sent me, which is so yummy. And that's the end of it. So that was my week of meals. I did cook every single night, but as you saw, I used like a lot of ingredients and things from the previous meal to create into something else, which saves me so much time. Yeah, so that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really love food recipe videos because I'm into cooking right now. Yeah, I hope that this inspired you to kind of go out of your cooking comfort zone a little bit and try different recipes. Yeah, but anyhow, now I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go warm up some stuffed shells that I made last night.